Dear students, we have to continue the lesson, that is organisms and populations. And in this one, we have started the biomes, the concept of biome, aquatic biomes. Now we have to proceed towards the major terrestrial biomes of Earth. We have different types, starting from tundra, taiga, forest, grasslands, alpine, etc. We'll see one by one. For each biome, you have to study about the location, then the climatic conditions, the vegetation or flora, and the related animals. These are all the 4 points you have to remember. Location, the climatic conditions prevalent there, then we have the vegetation or flora, then the fauna or the animals, including some adaptations if it is there. Now the first biome, tundra biome. So it is an example for almost a treeless biome. This is one question, treeless biome or plain. Normally found the northern parts of Asia, Europe, Europe. Now, and also in North America, north parts actually. So northern parts of Asia, Europe and North America. Now what is the nature of the climate? The winter is very long with little daylight. So long winter with little daylight. The summer, short summer with long daylight. Short summer with long daylight. About the precipitation, there is nothing but the nature of the rainfall, whether it is more or less or medium, etc. Now, what is the rainfall? It is less than 250 millimeter per year because the soil is frozen, and it is a zone of permafrost, a layer of permanent frozen soil. A layer of permanent frozen soil, that condition is called permafrost. Then what are the plants? The vegetation or flora. We have willows, the mosses, the bryophytes. We have just actually short grasses, sedges and birches. These are all the plants or flora. The fauna includes both the herbivorous animals and carnivorous animals. What are the herbivorous animals? Reindeer, Arctic hare, musk ox, lemmings, the birds. These are all the herbivores. And we have the carnivores like Arctic fox, Arctic wolf, bobcat, slow owl, polar bear, etc. As to overcome the extreme what is called the winter, the animals have developed certain adaptations. One of the adaptations developed in the case of such animals is nothing but migration. They are moving away from what we have the tundra region during extreme winter. So what is the adaptation? Many of the animals are migrating. What are the examples we have? The shoebirds, particularly the birds are migrating. Then and waterfowl, shoebirds and waterfowl. And these waterfowls are nothing but the common birds, you know that one, the ducks and geese. They nest in tundra during summer. Nesting means actually living there, constructing a nest, laying the eggs and incubating and hatching. This is what is called nesting. So these birds nest in tundra during summer because the summer region is normally characterized by somewhat a medium temperature, and they migrate to south for winter. To overcome extreme winter, they are migrating towards the south where the temperature is more. That's why the migration of the birds occurs, to overcome what we call the extreme winters. Staying there during summer in tundra and moving away from what is called tundra during winter to south where the temperature is high. That's about what we have the tundra biome. We have to go for the next one, taiga biome. The second terrestrial biome is taiga biome. So normally it lies 1300 to 1450 kilometer wide zone south of tundra. It's a wide zone south of tundra, that is from 1300 to 1450 kilometer. What is the climate? So long and cold winters we have. Suppose you're taking the summer. The summer temperature ranges from 10 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius. That's about that one. What about the precipitation? So the precipitation is nothing but the rainfall through the year. It is calculated about 380 to 1000 millimeter. 380 to 1000 millimeter. That is actually calculated per year. That's a precipitation. Now, what are the plants found here? That is a flora vegetation. So it is nothing but actually plants of coniferous trees. Plants of coniferous trees we have. So the main plants are coniferous trees. What are the examples? We have pine, that is spruce, fir, cedar, hemlock, etc. Only 3 plants are given in the book. And they form the major source of logging industry. That is making timber. Wood logs, the log, actually the stem that is being used for making different, that is timbers, either for constructing the boat or ship or for even for furnitures. That is called the logging industry. And what are the animals living? That's a fauna. Mainly we have the migratory herbivores like moose. Moose is a kind of large deer with the palmate, what's called the horns, highly branched horns. Elk, another animal, mammal, deer and reindeer. These are all what we have the migratory herbivores. We also have the carnivores. Now, certain adaptations are seen in the case of moose and reindeer. Now they migrate to taiga during winter to just overcome what is called the temperature. So they migrate to taiga during winter and to the tundra for summers. This is an adaptation seen in the case of moose, a kind of deer that is a large deer, and also we can see in the case of reindeer, another kind of deer. Now, other animals, common smaller mammals, particularly the herbivores, or squirrels, snowshoe hare, the rabbits, and predatory pine martens. These are all what we have, thus common smaller animals. And important predators include the timber wolf, grizzly bear, black bear, then bobcat, and wolverines. These are all what we get the predators coming into the category of what is called actually the mammals. So timber wolf, they are called as the predators because they are getting their what is called the prey by poaching them. That's why they are called as the predators. That's about taiga biome. So for each biome you have to know the location, the climate, that is under which you have to know the precipitation, then fauna and flora, the animals and plants, along with is there any adaptations for animals. That's about taiga biome. We have to go for the next one, grasslands. Now the next terrestrial biome is grassland biome. Normally the grassland biomes occur in temperate and tropical regions, not in the case of just what we have the poles. What is the climatic condition? Hot summers, cold winters and irregular rainfall. And also it is characterized by high winds, wind velocity is high. Always there we have wind. The precipitation, that is the rainfall, low irregular rainfall. So it is not uniform, it is less when compared to other biomes, low irregular rainfall. Now what are the vegetations? The flora, which includes the different types of grasses, purple needle grass, wild oats, ryegrass, then foxtail, buffalo grass and ryegrass. Okay, so these are all the different types of what we have the grasses abundant here. Then the fauna includes herbivores, particularly the grazing animals like antelopes, bison, wild horse, then jackrabbit, ground squirrel, nut eaters and prairie dogs. The prairie dogs are very common. So normally the grasslands are also called a savanna. Then the predators include, we have predators also, coyotes, that is nothing but the wild dog, okay, wild dog. Then foxes, Indian fauna. The Indian fauna includes particularly the antelope, that is the deer variety, rhinoceros and gaur. Gaur is nothing but large wild ox. That is we can say the bull or ox. That is what is called the animal found living in grasslands because these are all the grazing animals. Mostly we have grazing animals are found. In addition to ox also found. That is what we have gaur, large wild ox. So these are all something about related to the grassland biome. We have to go for the alpine biome and then the desert biome, etc. Now the next is the desert biome. It covers about 1/5 of Earth's surface, where you have the rainfall is more than 500 millimeter per year. Then about the climatic conditions regarding the temperature, the mean annual temperatures ranges from just we have 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. But during extreme conditions, the extreme maximum ranges from 43.5 to 49 degrees Celsius. And also it drops to a minimum temperature of what is called minus 18 degrees Celsius. So we have three different types of temperature: average, maximum and low temperatures. And about the rainfall is usually very low, concentrated in short bursts between the rainless region. Rainless what is called actually times. Short burst means a drizzling only. Now the evaporation rates normally higher than that of what is called the rainfall rates. Evaporation rate, because of high temperature, the evaporation rate is always higher than that of what is called rainfall rates. Now what is the nature of the soil? The soil is coarse textured, shallow, rocky or gravelly, with good drainage and have no surface water. It has no capacity of holding surface water. Then what are the types of deserts? Before that one, we have the wind is very common. It takes away the fine dust particles and also the dust and leaving the large grains of sand. As a result, we have the formation of what's called sand dunes. Sand dunes are nothing but actually the collection of what we have the sand particles in the form of hill-like structures, mountain-like structures. That is called sand dune. This is because of what is called taking away the sand particles by heavy wind. Now what are the types of deserts? Based on the temperature ranges, we have two types of deserts. One, the hot deserts and cold deserts, the second one. Now we can see what is hot desert and what is cold desert. There are two types of deserts, one the hot desert, another one the cold desert. The locations are the examples of hot desert: the Sahara of North America, deserts of southwestern US, Mexico, Australia and India. In India it is called Thar Desert. Then what is the nature of vegetation? That's a flora. So we have considerable amount of specialized vegetation in the form of xerophytes. For example, aloe vera, again a Pensia species of different types, Euphorbia, Roylina. So these are the different types of vegetation. They are adapted to the xerophytic conditions or xeric conditions, hence called xerophytic plants, living in sandy areas where the temperature is high. Now the fauna includes those animals which are specialized to survive in desert areas. So we have specialized vertebrates and invertebrates are living here. The dominant animals in hot desert are mainly, we have the reptiles and small mammals. For example, the pocket mouse, etc. We have even the kangaroo rat, etc. Now we have in Thar desert, specific animals are formed. The Indian spiny-tailed lizard, the black buck. Now the what we have, the white-footed fox. The white-footed fox are common fauna in Thar desert in India. There are also insects, arachnids like the scorpions and the birds living there. Those birds adaptable to what we have the hot climatic conditions are found in hot desert. The next one we have to know something about the cold desert. Now the second type of desert is a cold desert, the location where it occurs. So it occurs in Antarctic, Greenland and the Nearctic realm, parts of USA, in parts of Western Asia and in the Ladakh region of India. These are all the locations. The fauna includes the jackrabbits, the kangaroo rat. It is known because it's sitting posted looking like what is called a kangaroo. Then kangaroo mice, then we have the pocket mice, a small mouse, grasshopper mice, antelope and ground squirrels. These are all what we have the fauna. The flora is normally xerophytic plants here too. Now the fifth type of what's called the biome, the Alpine biome. What is Alpine biome? So it is a zone between timberline and a snow zone. What is timberline? So the zone above what is called above the limits of tree growth. the zone above the limits of tree growth, that is called the timberline. Okay, it is a zone between the timberline and snow zone. It includes the following regions of the zones in the descending order, starting from up. Snow zone, the upper zone, then sub-snow zone immediately below the snow zone, then we have a meadow zone that is in the central zone, and also a shrub zone, that's the last one, which gradually merges with the timber zone. The timber zone where we have the growth is actually, you see that one, it is a zone above the limits of tree growth. Zone above the limits of tree growth. So it merges with what is called the timber zone. That's about a few words about Alpine biome. Now the example for that is Alpine, that is Himalayas. Now the snow of Himalayas lies over 5,100 meters above mean sea level. And regarding the Alpine zone, it exists at a height of 3,600 meters above the sea level, less than that of what is called Himalayas area. The zone above the limits of tree growth, what is called the timberline, exhibit extreme environmental conditions. That region has extreme environmental conditions which greatly influences the biota of this region. Then what are the flora? Alpine Phacelia, bear grass, moss cambion, polylepis forest, pygmy bitterroot and wild potato. These are all some of the vegetations found here. What are the fauna of Alpine zone of Himalayas? Many invertebrates are predatory. They are found in what is called the water bodies. And fishes, amphibians and vertebrates are totally absent or lacking. Then regarding the reptilian fauna, it is greatly impoverished. Impoverished means nothing but poor. We have very poor number of what is called reptilian fauna found in the case of Alpine zone. That's about regarding the Alpine, what is called the biome. We have to proceed towards what is called the forest biome in the next class. Okay, thank you.